On June 13, Andy Cohen stepped in as Jenna Bush Hager's co-host for the day on The Today Show. Andy spilled some tea about Rachel Zoe joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Additionally, the Watch What Happens live host confirmed that OG Kyle Richards will return for season 15. Obviously, Jenna doesn't read reality tea because she was unaware that Rachel was joining RHOBH. The former first daughter was pleasantly surprised to hear that the fashion icon is joining the show. Even though he was unsure if I'm supposed to announce that, Andy admitted that Kyle would return to the show. Kyle Richards is on the RHOBH season 15 cast. Although some of her RHOBH friendships are hanging by a thread, Kyle's returning for another season. Despite she and Dorit Kemsley both going through divorce, they had issues with their relationship last season. With her flashy cars and designer clothes, Dorit has always implied that her now estranged husband, Paul PK Kemsley, was rich. But there's long been speculation that PK wasn't really as loaded as Dorit wanted us to think. All could soon be revealed in the divorce documents. Rumor has it PK wants some of that sweet Bravo money and could go after Dorit's RHOBH paycheck. Meanwhile, Kyle's not only dealing with divorce from her husband of 27 years, Mauricio Umansky, but there's still ongoing speculation about relationship with country singer Morgan Wade. Are Kyle and Morgan really just friends, as she claims, or is there more to the story? While Dorit's financial situation is precarious, it's unlikely Mauricio will go after Kyle's RHOBH salary. Mauricio had nothing when he and Kyle first met back in the 90s. But since then, he's built a reported $57 billion real estate business, the agency. Under California's community property laws, Kyle is entitled to half of that fortune. Kyle will be just fine. Glamour, divorce, and a dash of Zoe, the RHOBH shakeup no one saw coming. Coffee, cameras, and Cohen. June 13th dawned like any other Thursday in Manhattan, bustling, breezy, and buzzing with caffeine-fueled ambition. But inside Studio 1A at 30 Rockefeller Plaza, something unexpected was brewing, and it wasn't just the morning coffee. Andy Cohen, dapper in a fitted navy suit with his signature sparkle of mischief, slid into the co-host chair beside Jenna Bush Hager on The Today Show. With Hoda Kotb out on assignment, it was Jenna and Andy's turn to run the ship. And oh, did they sail it straight into the heart of Housewives drama. Okay, Andy, Jenna laughed, brushing a loose curl behind her ear. Tell me something. You've got that look on your face, the one where you're about to spill some tea. Andy grinned. Well, I might have just come from a meeting about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Jenna's eyebrows arched. Oh, season 15 already? What are they going to call it? Beverly Hills Breakdown? Andy leaned in, lowering his voice conspiratorially. Rachel Zoe is joining the cast. Jenna blinked. Rachel Zoe, as in the Rachel Zoe? That's bananas. I die. Andy smirked. Yes, that Rachel. The fashion icon, the stylist to the stars. She's in. Cameras are already rolling. And Kyle Richards? Jenna pressed. Is she coming back? Andy hesitated, that mischievous twinkle growing brighter. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce this, but yes, Kyle's back. Cue the gasps, cue the confetti. RHOBH Season 15 was officially in full glam mode. Beverly Hills is burning. Back on the West Coast, the reaction was swift. As news spread through the 90,210 grapevine, Bravo fans and frenemies alike scrambled to react. Dorit Kemsley stood in the middle of her walk-in closet, makeup-free, espresso in hand, phone blowing up with texts. Garcelle Bavaz, Zoe, are you kidding me? Crystal Minkoff, Fashion Wars incoming. You okay? PK, can we talk? Dorit rolled her eyes at the last one. The gall, the absolute audacity of Paul PK Kemsley thinking he could text her like everything was normal. Just weeks ago, he blindsided her by filing for divorce via his lawyer. She hadn't even received the courtesy of a heads-up. Now, the tabloids were suggesting that PK was planning to go after her Bravo paycheck, her only independent income, the same paycheck she'd fought tooth and acrylic for during 13 drama-filled seasons. But PK, he wanted a piece of that pie. Let him try, she muttered, slipping into a silk versus robe. I built this platform. He can't take that from me. The irony wasn't lost on her. All these years, she paraded PK around as her protector, her financier, her rock. But when the foundation cracked, it turned out he was after the diamonds too. Kyle's crossroads. Meanwhile, Kyle Richards was wrapping up a yoga session at her Encino estate, barefoot, breathless, and contemplative. The late morning sun glinted through the glass walls of her backyard studio, casting long shadows across her mat. Her phone buzzed. Andy, we're live. It's out. Welcome back, babe. Kyle exhaled. So that was that. Her return was official. No turning back now. The last season had been brutal. Between the unraveling of her decades-long marriage to Mauricio Umansky and the endless speculation about her friendship with Morgan Wade, Kyle was emotionally fried. And yet, despite it all, she agreed to come back. Because this show, it was her show. From the very first diamond-holding promo shoot, Kyle had been the unshakable nucleus of RHOBH, and she wasn't about to let that crown slip now. But she wasn't naive. Rachel Zoe joining the cast would rattle the cages. Rachel wasn't just fashion, she was fashion royalty. Her entrance would instantly threaten Dorit's role as RHOBH's reigning couture queen. And speaking of Dorit, Kyle hadn't spoken to her since the reunion. They'd sat, awkwardly separated by Garcelle, each too proud to reach across the tension. The shared pain of divorce should have bonded them. Instead, it pushed them further apart. The Rachel effect. Rachel Zoe wasn't known for subtle entrances, and her RHOBH debut would be no exception. Draped in a floor-length vintage Halston gown, oversized sunglasses perched on her nose, Rachel stepped into her first cast event, a charity gala in Bel Air, as if she were walking the Oscars' red carpet. Cameras whirred, paparazzi flashed, Housewives gossiped. Erica Jane leaned toward Crystal. She's giving fashion icon who bites. I kind of love it. Crystal sipped her champagne. Dorit's going to implode. Indeed, Dorit arrived 15 minutes late, decked out in head-to-toe Balmain, only to find Rachel in a custom look she'd worn first, 2 seasons ago in Paris. Welcome to the show, Rachel said sweetly, air-kissing Dorit's cheeks. So nice to meet the other fashion girl. Dorit's smile froze. We'll see who the fashion girl is by the end of this season. Cue the confessional cutaways. Dollars, diamonds, and divorce. While the season kicked off with couture wars, the real drama simmered beneath the glam. Thames leaked details of PK's divorce demands. According to insider sources, PK had filed a motion requesting spousal support and a share of Dorit's RHOBH income, citing a customed lifestyle as his reasoning. Twitter erupted. Not PK trying to live off Dorit's glam squad budget. He didn't pay for those Birkins. Dorit did, with Bravo money. Behind closed doors, Dorit was in crisis mode. My lawyer says he doesn't have a leg to stand on, she told Kyle during a tense lunch at the Ivy. But if this gets to court, everything comes out. The glam, the finances, the Vegas debt. I can't let my kid see that. Kyle blinked. Vegas debt? Dorit looked away. Kyle's sympathy evaporated. Once again, secrets had festered between them. And Kyle was tired of pretending she didn't know how many masks her friends wore off camera. Dorit, you can't keep hiding this stuff. It always finds its way to the surface. Morgan and the spotlight, Kyle's own life wasn't scandal-free. Speculation about her relationship with country singer Morgan Wade had reached fever pitch, especially after the two were photographed vacationing in Lake Como together, just the two of them. On camera, Kyle maintained that they were close friends navigating life. Off camera, even she didn't know how to define it. Morgan had become her anchor, her confidant, her escape. They laughed together, worked out together, wrote music together. But Kyle knew the show, and the world, wanted clarity. "You can't live in the gray forever," her daughter Alexia told her gently. "Not if you want peace." Kyle nodded, but peace was a luxury she hadn't afforded herself in years. Reunion rumbles and Rachel's rise. As filming neared its conclusion, Bravo executives began prepping for what would undoubtedly be one of the most explosive RHOBH reunions in history. Dorit versus Rachel, the fashion showdown. Kyle versus Dorit, the fractured friendship. Rachel versus Erica, a surprise rivalry born of a shared ex-stylist. And looming over it all, the specter of divorce. 3 diamonds, 3 dissolving marriages, each bringing its own shade of heartbreak and scandal. Bravo couldn't script this if they tried. Andy whispered to a producer as the ladies took their seats in the glittering reunion set. The final reveal. The last minutes of the reunion held a twist no one saw coming. Andy turned to Kyle. "There's been so much speculation about you and Morgan. You've both denied a romantic relationship. But now that the season's wrapped, is there anything you'd like to say?" Kyle paused, looked across the stage at Dorit, who was blinking back tears, at Erica, expressionless behind her glam, at Rachel, confidently composed, and finally at the camera. "Yes," she said, "there is something more, but I'm still figuring out what that means." Silence, then applause. Kyle Richards had finally claimed her truth, not the truth the tabloids fed or the Bravo blogs dissected, but hers.